A unique 4-grain recipe. Smooth up front with a little Kentucky kiss on the back. This is a bourbon for all of life's moments and celebrations. Available across the United States. We give back to those who wore the uniform and serve our communities.
The Lost Art Project, Veteran Voices with Andrew Cox. Preserving history, one veteran story at a time. Marine Corps League and Till Valhalla Project Ambassador. Thanks for tuning in to the podcast that's given a voice to our veterans. The Lost Art Project, Veteran Voices with Andrew Cox.
Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the Lost Art Project, Veterans Voices. We're having a part 3 today of Jesse Kindelspire. But before we get into the episode, are you enjoying the podcast? Then make sure you go to the website. That's thelostart.podbean.com. Go check us out, see what we're all about. There's a couple ways you can help support us. You can go in there and click on that one-time donation link. You can also become a patron with a monthly donation. Heck, you could just go get you some cool merchandise. Or if you want to advertise, you can do that right here on the podcast. Big shout out to the Till Valhalla Project out there doing amazing things. If you don't know anything about them, check them out. If you do know something about them, check them out anyways. But they're always doing new things, always putting new stuff up. Just go check them out. And if you can support them in any way, it would be much appreciated. You can find them at tillvalhallaproject.com.
Are you a Marine veteran? Are you missing that bond you had on active duty? Then I have a place for you. Join the only congressionally chartered Marine Corps Veteran Service Organization, the Marine Corps League. Get that brother and sisterhood back in your life. Become one of the fewer, the prouder, a Marine Corps League member.
All right, here we are. We got Jess back with us, man. How's it going?
It's going. Yeah.
Good. Oh, well, that's a positive. As long as it's going, that's a good thing.
Moving forward.
Yeah, that's right. Moving forward. Oh man, good stuff. Man, I'm excited to hear some more of your story, man. You've your episode did really well. Like I was telling you earlier, 156 downloads already on part 2. So hopefully all those guys listen again. Maybe you'll get over 200 on this one, man. You never know.
Kept it really light, didn't we? Yeah. Let's keep it light.
I love it. Oh man. Well, hey, where did we leave off, dude?
Well, we left off with the suicide, so that's one of those great uplifting things to just really pump those numbers up, buddy. Yeah. So talked about Billy. That day it was like they lost Billy is also ironically, and I don't know, I have this weird theory about mid-April. It's like a cursed time frame because you start looking back in history. That's usually when the weirdest shit happens. So like Oklahoma City bombing, Hillary's birthday. I mean, lost our son that same day we lost Billy. So I was not in a great headspace, man. I mean, I was like, it just adds up. So I always kind of brace up every time mid-April, April 19th, May 21st. And you start going through like this, what also happened about that time? I mean, Boston bombing. I mean, I mean, it's that time of the year. So beginning or mid-April is when everything just starts kind of crashing down around you. And you're like, okay, I'm like, what's going to happen? So you start tensing up a little bit. But I said, we lost Billy to a suicide. The base support group commander the base support group team we had, the sergeant major, was just amazing. He was actually, I'm not sure if he was serious, but I asked him what he did for a day job when he wasn't in the guard. He was like, I'm a state of Georgia's executioner. I'm like, Green Mile?
What?
Like, I was like,
wow.
And I'm like, I'm not sure. So just while you're deployed, nobody's getting executed in the state of Georgia. He's like,
yeah,
he might have been messing with me. I don't know, but he had that little Tom Hanks Green Mile thing to him, but he
Yeah.
was a hell of a dude.
Wow.
But yeah, he kind of helped me walk through like the weird, like I said, Billy was the first one in the company we lost. So
Yeah.
we didn't really have a really solid game plan. The theater lead and deputy theater lead we had came over and kind of helped me walk through it. But the day to day, still got to run a team, still got to do a job.
Right.
I had amazing support from the NTMA Assistica team there. So Lionel Thompson, if you even knows him, amazing. Air Force major.
Very nice.
Cataloged everything that Billy had to send it home to the next of kin. And the weirdness of the company at the time was kind of a new thing. We hadn't done this before. The widow kept on calling HR. She wanted to get a hold of me, and HR just kind of said, "Well, here's his number." So, yeah,
that's tough.
And then you start to realize that there's other things going on behind somebody's head. Billy, and that's where this suicide thing comes into. Like, you go through the stages. I mean, initially it was kind of I don't know what to do. I'm like just trying to keep my head above waters. I mean, leadership. I'm like, I'm going to take this on so the team doesn't have to. And that's that leadership mentality, right?
Right.
And it's mine. It's mine. It's my responsibility. How did I fail this? And that's where you, in leadership, like, what did I miss? And you start going down every rabbit hole, like all those indicators they teach us, and like, maybe they're not all right. And that was a question we had to ask ourselves, like, or maybe he just knew them all and he really had a plan. He wanted to execute it. So you kind of have to hit that tipping point. Like, maybe we did what we're supposed to. Maybe it just is not going to. Maybe this is what it was going to be. And we're determined enough to actually do this. It wasn't a cry for help. It was he did it. There was no cries for help we saw. We really sat down and talked about this for a long time. But you
think maybe it's just he already had his mind made up that it was going to happen. Like it was
going to happen.
It was already a done deal.
He was waiting for an opportunity, and that opportunity hit, and then it just happened. So, but I mean, we treat it like anybody else who lives in theater, and it was get everything boxed up, sent home, treat everything you owned as like almost a relic at that point, because it was.
Right.
We don't know what in that box is going to be the one thing that the family might hold on to.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, so everything, it was, we had PDF forms that we had to put in, like, Barcy serial numbers for like the Afghani bills. I mean, every bill had to have like its own like serial number on there.
No kidding.
Yeah, we were you have to be very detailed when you send personal effects home. It's very methodical process. So I just started documenting everything we were doing and making sure that if it ever happened again, that this was not, it didn't rock the next guy, because I was on a 1 year with the company, and the company was like, there's not a stateside position waiting for me. Typically, you do your 1 year, you do 2 years, 3 years. I knew guys in the company who had been flipped between contracts and contracts, have been there 7, 8, 9 years. So, better part of a decade in the same area. And that was just how it was. And you had to kind of check their mental health too, because
no kidding,
doing 6, 7 years in the same spot in Afghanistan. This is just, that was their life. So you had to kind of factor that in too. These are folks on my team, but I also had like Naval Academy grads. I was working with Canadians and Americans and every country under the NTMA Assistica umbrella, there was a lot. We had European Union police that we're working with as well. But we kind of ran this road, but getting Billy home was like priority one, and then keeping the team going. So we had some really smart folks that just kind of kept us going what we were supposed to be doing. And there was a lot of transition going on, especially in 2012. But I stuck around for another month because they were trying to line up somebody to come replace me. And well, replace Billy now. And I was Billy's replacement until we got somebody else in there because that was a weird dynamic. And then I got a phone call from the company and said, I went back on vacation for a couple of weeks in 2012-ish, and I did a couple of interviews with some companies around town. I mean, just kind of figuring out what the next steps were.
Right.
I mean, 'cause 1 year in Afghanistan, that was kind of, I want to go downrange with the folks that I've been working with, and but putting my uniform back on probably wasn't in the cards for me. But contractor, I could work it, but not, you're not the focus of effort. The guys in uniform are, and a lot of contractors, especially everybody's got a contractor story. But
it's true.
The goal for me, and I think a lot of us, was we are not the focal point. The guys in uniform. So USO tours, don't go. That's not for us. That's for the kids in uniform.
Yeah.
They are, God, some of us just so young too.
Yeah, they are.
Watching them throughout the course of deployment just age too. And that was like kind of heartbreaking at times. But
it's amazing how much it'll age you in a short amount of time when you're dealing with that much stress and everything.
Oh, stress, sleep, food. I mean, it's all Afghanistan. I mean, I didn't do Iraq time. So Afghanistan was kind of my backyard.
Yeah.
But that tour, I did like a 13-monther. So I did the extra month. The company called me in and was like, "Hey, we're setting up a field service branch, and we'd like you to come over and run current operations." I'm like, "Okay." I mean, now I have something on the other end.
Yeah.
But I did my transition with the guy coming in, and we kind of walked things through how we're doing, how we transitioned the team in the time we were there. We were firing all cylinders. We had really great database administrators, developers, knowledge engineers, because there was so much information being thrown around. There was a time where our entire purpose was to figure out all these little data sources spread around Kabul and just try and consolidate them. I mean,
really?
Yes, there was just tons of information.
Wow.
And you heard some of the weirdest shit. So it's called, we had a knowledge management meeting, and it was every Thursday morning, and every database, every spreadsheet had to get brought in and briefed what it did and what it touched, because there was so much information being thrown around. Because there was Department of Interior, or the Ministry of Interior, and Ministry of Defense. So MOI had the Army, the police, and MOD had the Army. And so it's got to have a logistical back end on it. So if you ever did Afghanistan, toward the end, the Danger Rangers, like the Ford Rangers that just bouncing around town with machine guns. But are you going to use American Army or American weapon systems? You're going to use Soviet bloc systems. So the police were running AKs, and the Army was running M16s and SAWs.
Wow.
So you look at the logistics back end of that, you start looking at ammunition sources. Where are you getting your ammo from? Is it going to be NATO or Warsaw back?
Yeah.
So that was all the things they were deciding there. So
that's
the air on it. I mean, there was a lot of data, but every once in a while you get the weirdest things, and they stick with you. It's like, here's my PowerPoint database. I'm like, what the shit did you even just say? My Word document with everything on it. That's not even structured data. It's just a word. I mean, it's a document. Stop it. Put it in Excel, please. Be a grown up. We had to consolidate all that down. I mean, we had to figure out who's coming from where and where they're going to go. But day-to-day job, it's just trying to wrangle all the information. But we made a big push to kind of get into one place and structure it. That was kind of our team's, what we were doing. We worked on the operations shop and Sestica and NTMA, and we were busy. It was meetings. There were times we'd have 12 hours of meetings in a day. We didn't blink. So
It's a lot of meetings.
It was a lot of coordination because we just
Yeah.
know what you didn't know. And
Right.
every time you turn around, there's a new data source that just popped off. And all the while, war's going on.
Mhm.
So, like I said,
Yeah.
we had those kids or those guys that took over the building across the road from us and started
Mhm.
RPGs in the embassy systems and the green zone. So that was just, we're shutting down that day. But
Yeah.
I remember there's a picture of me sitting in the office, and I have like a busted guidon pole waiting as like a spear point, and I'm on a call, the theater call that week. You hear
Yeah.
RPGs going off, machine like medium and heavy machine guns cracking off in the background. Like, yeah, we're a little bit busy right now. We got something going on. The meetings will not continue. We were combatants. I mean, we were there to pull triggers. Mongolians had it. They were dumping everything into this building. I think they had a transition coming up. They were going to rotate out Mongolians.
Mm.
They come over like little sticks, and they just end up
Yeah.
just watching through the course of the deployment getting bigger because they'd eat 3 plates of food in a day. So it's like the one time they're going to eat. I mean, they ate good. But I don't think they want to do the transition ammo either. So they're just trying to dump it all. It's like a dump X into this building. So
Yeah.
they're banging away at RPKs and AKs and just beating the shit out of this building. But I mean, you start having career questions like, what's next?
Mhm.
Contractors
Right.
go
Yeah.
through what's next. And if you don't have the next thing going, you can get sold out pretty easy. I got a wife and kids at home. We're about to lose benefits if I don't find the next thing. So, now company asked me to move to Colorado Springs and help establish an operations shop. So, and kind of wrangle all the things that were going on because we figured out that there was enough stuff going on in theater. I mean, we had 120 folks spread across like 20 some sites in Afghanistan.
Oh, wow.
And we had ranging from like intelligence collation cells to guys we just embedded as knowledge managers or subject matter experts in the SOTF teams. So it was a big, wide variety. My youngest, well, I'll get to that, but operations wise, then we also had stateside missions because we were expanding into Korea, Australia, Japan. Iraq was still cracking. UK, NATO.
Yeah.
I mean, we're kind of all over the place because we were busy and we had to support different ones. We made the move from like Sioux Falls down to Colorado Springs because the family's back to Falls here.
That's where the headquarters was, down in Colorado Springs. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a Pro Rodeo Hall of Fame. So I would drive by that every day. Like, I know people in the building from when I was a kid. Weird. But yeah, I made the transition. So I get home and take that long flight. And that's like that was my first introduction to how folks come home too from Afghanistan.
Right.
It's not that big, long. In the MEU, we had a month of just transit time, and you got to unwind, and you could see like the clock tick back every other day. You're hitting another time zone. Right. You get the leap day or the Groundhog Day, where you get the same day twice. It's like,
yeah.
But I jumped on a plane, went down to Kandahar down to Dubai, I think to Dulles, and then Dulles home. And you're like, Dulles, Chicago home. And you're just like, it's within a 24-hour cycle. So I came off the airplane. I'm just like, a day ago, I was rocket attack with the CRAM going off. But now you're back in America. And America, 2012, didn't give a shit. Afghanistan was someplace that popped up on the radar. Oh yeah, we're still in Afghanistan. How's that going on? I'm like, that's your day-to-day, everything about it, right? And they're worried about American stuff. So America was at the mall. It was at war. The military was at war. But so we had to pick up our stuff and we went down to Colorado Springs. And my wife and I jumped in the car. We had to go find a house. Had to go find something going on. I think, this is my wife looked at me like, you're insane moment was we're driving down the I-25 and we're going to make the right-hand turn into like the area where the office is, because there's a place we stayed at hotel wise, and it was blocked off on the interstate because there's a Waldo Canyon fire was going off in the background there.
Oh, right.
Firestorm up in the hills. It's just like Satan's asshole after a night of Taco Bell. And just blow shooting up in the air. You're like, what is even going on here? My wife looks at me and she's like, we're moving here, huh? This seems really super smart. And like, well, we're not moving back there. You can calm down. But we had like audible out to it by the airport, and there's a Hilton down there at points. So we show up this Hilton, check in, see the parking lot's full of insurance adjusters. And
yeah,
I was like, wow, you guys are here early. Like, no, we're here from the hailstorm that just went through. I was like, what?
Wow.
We're gonna buy a house in this like hellscape. I mean, if it's not hailstorms, it's firestorms. I mean, it's Colorado. So nobody really talks about Colorado Springs and how it's weather nasty. So
yeah.
So
seems
yeah,
like
but
it's pretty heinous.
we got some hailstorms, they'll punch holes in the sidewalls of your cars if you're not careful. So, like, well, that's excessive. So front range, you get what you get.
Yeah.
I mean, found a house, great neighbors, over by the Air Force Academy up on the east of the 25. And
right.
Funny part is that on AFES, you can see my house once in a while when they have the Air Force Academy promo. I was like, there's my house. So,
oh, are you serious? No kidding. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
I mean, I had a window, I looked out, and I could actually see like every morning parachutists and gliders are taking off. So I sit there, put my shoes on this front top step, and just watching the parachutists come down from the Air Force Academy or by the airfield.
Wow.
It was pretty fun.
That is cool. I mean, to get to see that.
If you're not careful, it could be a little time machine. You'll lose like 20 minutes just watching parachutists. Like, but it was a great city. I didn't live there. I lived on a laptop in an office, and I had a career. I go to the office and I'm quarterbacking things I'm working with other teams. So we're putting together a team, and it's
right.
Send them out to like Jaido or Joint IED Defeat Office out in the Beltway, or putting rotations down. And at night was morning in Afghanistan, so I give them a call. It's like, okay, we ran kind of 24-hour ops, making sure we had the right people in the right place at the right time. And I think I did that for about 6-7 months, and then they called me. I was like, hey, we need to rotate back out, and let's get you guys in rotation so we're not burning one guy in, because Jack had been there for a lot of years and he was tired.
Yeah.
He finally just said, I'm done. Went back to Wisconsin. He loved it.
Yeah.
But so my wife and I was like, hey, we need to take a vacation, like a real vacation. We haven't done this in a lot of years. So like we had points. I just never used my airline miles for anything. And I flew all the time from Japan back to Orlando. So I had a bunch of United miles.
Yeah.
Put together a flight down to Australia. So
nice.
We've been there before, but it's like, I mean, Sydney is a cool place.
Yeah.
And yeah, we were staying in downtown Sydney and just kind of seeing the sights. I mean, we never really took a real vacation together. I mean,
that's cool.
By the time in 12, so it's we're coming up on 15 years being married. So I mean, nice. First real vacation as a couple. We didn't really do a honeymoon. We didn't really do a lot of vacations. I mean, it was we're gonna go together. So I mean, we bounced down, saw it. She likes wine, so we went to Hunter Valley before it burned down in one of the fires, I think. And I think it's back up now, but I mean, like I said, I was at work. I had a career, so I was kept up. And a friend of mine, he was deputy theater lead, and that was the spot I was going to rotate into. And we're kind of in the somewhat same time zone, like 5 hours ahead or somewhere along that line. And all one night, and like, hey, what's going on, man? He's like, I can't talk. Give me a call back tomorrow night. I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, something's up. You hear the tone in his voice. And I have his vacation, so we want to hit me with anything. Because they're like, if you're on vacation, just let that guy go. Next day I call back. And I'm like, what happened? They're like, Tina's dead. And I'm like, wait, what the shit? We had a collator who was just amazing. And she was Air Force Reserve Intelligence Officer. And we're trying to rotate her out to field service rep because we ran really lean as a company. So it was RC West, RC North. We typically only had one field service rep. RC South, we're kind of busy. We might put 2. East, we'd run like 4 or 5, depending upon in the Cobble area. And then South, we'd like 1 or 2. And it was my old desk in the West. And I'm like, what happened? I guess what happened was somebody from the second floor of the cans. There's an AK sitting in a chair, and she wanted to sit down in that chair, so she picked it up and cracked the round off and went right through the can. Hit Christina in the head, and she was dead before she hit the desk.
Whoa! Holy cow!
They don't talk about the NDs and all the friendlies, the blue on blue, but that was a thing. So now we're evacuating number 2, and the policy we put in place, and a lot of the actions we put in place from Billy, kind of we started executing the plan. Yeah, I mean, now there's 2 of us who were like carrying that weight. Ship. I don't care what company you're with, if you're active or that's something that you kind of get branded with, and that's something you're gonna carry that for the rest of your life. So I mean, that's like every year that day pops off, and you're like, yeah, I kind of get real melancholy and kind of start thinking, I do the memories, and I hate to say it, but there's 2 of us now. So, but we got her home. The investigation was a mess. I trying not to say this, but I'm going to say it. The CID team out of Kandahar came over, bagged up her stuff, and we were missing things. So what they did with it, I'm really kind of sensitive about that, because we think some of the things came up missing, and we're really kind of pissed about that. But I mean, the shooter, American citizen, she had ties. She got on a plane from the local airport and just flew out, so she didn't have to go through an investigation. So that's the fun that is our side of the war. I mean,
so she literally just boom, got on a plane, left, and nothing came.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a fun one. So there's some things that just, you talk about being angry over time. This will piss you off for a long time. It still does. It's been 13 years. I don't think it's ever going to go away. But so now I'm walking in a theater in accelerated timeline, and it's February of 13, and I'm coming as leadership for deputy theater lead and a great theater lead, and the theater tech lead. We had a somewhat hostile government leadership at the time. I'm trying to be really diplomatic about that, because it was that time of the war where every system was coming under review. And if you had and some of this is actually popping up now too, but there's a big database company who fed off our system, and we didn't really charge per seat. It was the government's data. It's the war's data, and we're not going to charge it per seat. And we took data from everywhere. So, and then we fed it out to different systems, and we had data mining like capability too. So, I mean, we had biometrics, we had civil affairs, public affairs. I mean, kinetic. If it was a database, it fed in ours, and we consolidated, collate it, and kick it back out to anybody with a seat with a login. And that's I had fun with that with Bradley, Chelsea Manning, I'm losing track of their names, but we had congressional stuff going on too. But
Yeah.
But I mean, on our side, there were some companies out there that were like, we don't think we need them here anymore. And they had congressional backing from, they're now disavowed Congress people, but big money. We weren't playing big money. We're playing big data games, and we're trying to get the information out to anybody who needed it. Because that was the job. But we had a great theater tech lead. The three of us were kind of had to keep it together all the while. I mean, in 2013, where was the war going to go? No one knew. It was mayhem. So we're drawing down in places, we're adding up in places, we're trying to transition the Afghans. The mission sets just it's.
Oh yeah.
About this the other night on the fireside, but was 2014, 2015 the most decisive year in a row? Because it was 21-year wars, and 2013 we're trying to figure out what was going on in country. I don't think it really had a great grasp on what was going on. Are we kinetic? Are we transitioning over the Afghans? Are the Afghans going to be able to pick it up and run with it? Logistically capable of doing this? What is right look like? What does it look like without Americans in the picture too? These are all the questions being asked. It's 4-star, and a lot of those questions politically, what are we going to do? It was not a popular back in America because they're starting to ask questions like, well, the surge is over, we're good, and the data can be manipulated. I don't trust stats. I just do it.
I have heard that you can manipulate the stats to show whatever it is you want to show.
Yeah, and every time I hear stats on a politician or whatever, I'm like, cool. I don't believe it, because there was a time where they were like, make it say this. I'm like, no, that's your policy. How do you compare apples to oranges when now all of a sudden we're comparing apples to Cadillacs? I mean, that's kind of the same. It's not how any of this is working. So, I mean, put it in writing. We're going to do this. We're going to create a paper trail. Because the government wants it this way, then the government's going to play the real game, and they're going to have to figure this out. You start looking at the State Department, working in the State Department. The State Department was having a time. So I traveled around a lot that deployment. So for 6 months, I was shutting down sites and casing stuff up, and I had a courier card. So I'm catching flights and dragging stuff out of like bases that were kinetic and they were busy. Salerno. I mean, you go east and there's a lot of bases, and you go southwest, west, up north. Span was still a place. I mean,
so you were literally shutting down offices,
or shutting them down or consolidating. Yeah.
Okay.
So I go to Mazar-e Sharif and fly over with a Canadian Molson Air. That was a beer, but at airplane or air helicopters. We catch flights. But on all these like airfields, I'm talking to folks and seeing what's going on in their site and what they're seeing, and it's drastically different than what we're hearing sometimes in Kabul. Caught a couple flights in Kandahar, and I was talking to some Marine counterintelligence guys who were working with the Afghans down in Southwest. I'm like, so what's going on down there? It's like, they're fighting their ass off. They are just doing amazing things. The Afghans are they're not giving up ground. And so that's a real assessment I'm getting from somebody on the ground, which I'm not seeing in Kabul at the time. So, but I mean, these are guys, boots on the ground.
Yeah.
But yeah, 2013 was an eye-opening experience because I'm out there talking to folks outside of 1 or 2 RCs. I'm starting to see the whole picture because I spent most of that 6 months in the air or on airfields or on sites.
Yeah.
Kind of bounce around cops, fobs, airfields, all around the country. And then I was also in circulation too. So I'm going out and talking to the field service reps like, hey, just after Billy, after Tina, we really took a hard look at how we were going out and seeing folks and checking mental statuses. So I'm like,
yeah, it's important.
Well,
so important.
A lot of folks just kind of get wrapped up in their day to day and they forget that like there's other contributing factors to this game we call life.
Yeah. Just because you're in country doesn't mean that life stops, you know.
No.
Everything back home is continuing to go.
And it's stacked. I married a saint. I know that. Doesn't believe in God, but she's a saint. Whatever. The dichotomy of my life sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, she's taking care of the kids. My daughter got that deployment. We went to Colorado Springs, and my daughter went to a classroom without a door on it, and we got a diagnosis that she might be autistic. And so every time anything moves back, her head's just going like this. And this teacher's like, why aren't you paying attention? I was like, this lady's insane. She's a teacher. And I mean, we bought a house right where we're supposed to, played the school district game. District 20 is the best school district in the history of ever. That's what they keep talking about. Got a 10-year teacher said she's never had a kid with autism. I'm like, I don't think you've been paying attention then, because that's not how any of this shit works. But
wow.
Meanwhile, I'm talking to my wife at night on the phone or on the Skype, and it's like, yeah, I think we have a diagnosis now, and like she's not in the right school. And tell me a first or second grader who was really good at anything going on, they're not gonna get distracted and keep looking. The whole classroom was doing this.
Yeah.
It's a academy, so it'd be great school, right? Bullshit. So all this is going on in theater, pressure stacking, talking to folks, just letting them vent. Just like talk it out. What do you got? You got a face that's made for like punching and talking to, I guess. So here we are. Very punchable face, but
yeah,
I kind of listening to him. I was like, hey, what can make your life easier? What can make it worse? I mean, what is going on? Well, just give me what's going on. Give me a real assessment, not the status reports. So, yeah, we had some folks who need to get rotated because they were out there they're living on an island in their mind. Like, all alone, I've got all this stuff going on. I can't afford to leave, or no one's going to be here. We'll let them. Like, nope, let's fold somebody else over there and kind of help them out. So we did a lot of rotations. We started real conversations. Meanwhile, the government's being weird. Story was he broke his back in Qatar, and he got hooked on the oxy, and then he didn't have a source when he came back to theater, and he was going through withdrawals. So he was all over the place. So we got a guy who's coming off oxy in theater. Kind of like, that's not great. But
yeah, that's ridiculously tough.
I mean, he's in charge of this, so he's in charge of intelligence systems. And then his deputy was just strange bird, but he had like 4 girlfriends back in the Beltway. Trying to talk to him all the time. I don't know what was going down with him. Like, dude, I got enough problems on my plate. I don't need your crap. But he'd come in and just raid for food too in our office. We had these CR123 batteries, little red ones, flashlights.
Yeah.
Picked one up, getting ready to pop in his mouth one night. I'm like, that's a battery, man. I take that out. He's like, oh, okay.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my gosh, just let the guy house that thing. But I mean, the government contract dynamic was strange.
Yeah.
But about 3-4 months in, I think it reached a tipping point, and they both got rotated out. I mean, one guy left his pistol in the shitter, and they shut down the base. I mean, it was the crew found it. Like, what's this? I'm like, whoa, big voice going on. Shut down ISAP.
Wow.
I think they had enough, and they got a really good government rep in, and he was on another level. Loved him. I mean, he was one of us. He was just smart, down to earth, took care of the team. There wasn't that government contract. There was, but it wasn't as defined between the government contract, and that's another relationship that contractors have a hard time with. Government has a hard time with too.
Right.
But we learned a lot from Kirk. Kirk was amazing, and we would do things for Kirk because, I mean, hey, this thing is becoming a priority. How can we start stacking up against it? Like, all right. So we start stacking up against his requirement that we knew was coming. It hadn't been defined yet, but we knew it was coming.
Mm-hmm.
The other ones just like sideswipe us in the middle of the meeting. It's like, why isn't this requirement fulfilled? It's like, this is the first time we're hearing of it. So why would we know about it? Because we weren't having conversations. It was just them berating us for being like, why is the system down? It's like, because some guy cut the line with his plow and wiped out all of Bagram's communication.
Oh,
That might be the reason why. It's an external out of our hands circumstance that happened, and this is a thing. So
yeah. I mean, things happen. You can't foresee everything, you know.
Well, there's also the 1 in a million shot too. There was a mortar that hit a light pole in Bagram, and the light pole that was on actually had the Sniper Hill repeater site. So 1 in a trillion shot.
Wow.
And it just Sniper Hill is down for Bagram for the better part of 2 weeks while they tried to replace it. It's just weird shit. And then, I mean, it's just the downsizing of the theater too. So what can we move? What is mission critical? So there's a lot of questions being asked, like how many bases do we have in Afghanistan? Like, well, there's 4 databases, consolidate them. So we started consolidation of databases too.
Yeah.
NATO had a piece of it. We had a piece of it. ISAF had a piece. I mean, everybody kind of had a thing because we were starting to figure out what the golden hour radius for medevacs was. It's like, if you've got a site that's outside of that 1 hour ring, we're going to start losing we're going to start losing folks. So know this. But yeah, it was a lot of moving around and a lot of like balancing. So 2013 was balance, trying to figure out what life was going to look like. It was a long deployment, but it was a good one. Had a really good support team back in Colorado Springs. So
what was that? How long was that deployment? You said it was 6 or 8?
6 months.
6 months. Okay.
Yep. So I did fighting season in 2013. So got there in February, came back in August. My wife. So we talked about it, and I had when you come back, you're kind of just mentally not there for the first few days. She's like, well, you can be mentally not here somewhere else. So find a place, go there. So I came back, the road trip up, saw my grandparents. And when I came back, I jumped on an airplane and went to Iceland for like 10 days. It was the most relaxing place I've ever been in my life. Everything about that place is just like my Zen place. Is it for everybody? Probably not. But for me, and a lot of actually people in the office too, we had direct flights to Icelandair out of Denver, and we just jump on a plane and go see Iceland. And the country is just made different. Everything is different there.
Yeah.
Like they didn't even have a military. So it was police. There maybe saw like 5 or 6 cops in 10 days, but
wow.
Everybody's pretty cool. Food was pretty good. If it moves, it's on the menu. So first time you saw a horse, you're like, yeah, it's horse or whale or shark or I mean, you name it. If it moves, it's on the menu.
Wow.
Transitioned back to the office after a couple of weeks and start picking back up. And 2014 rolls up and get called into the office. We're getting ready to go to we're doing a family vacation this time. So we're going to swing up to like Steamboat Springs in the summer and 4th of July parade and all that. And boss calls me in. He's like, hey, I need you in Afghanistan by next Friday. I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, well, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to talk about it here, but something popped off and we have to move some people around. I'm like, okay, cool. Go home and talk to my wife. I was like, hey, I'm not going to make the vacation. It's like, well, what's going on? It's like, I got to be in Afghanistan next Friday. So that's all the immunizations, all the spin-ups, all the medical, all the dental, all the things. You got to get it's just 2 weeks of appointments. All this theater-specific training you got to sit through now. And then you got to go to Camp Atterbury, which is like CENTCOM's clearinghouse. You got to get issued all this stuff and start getting waivers because I had body armor with me. I didn't need to pick up Army crap and all that stuff. But yeah, so 2014, bounced right back to Afghanistan and like get there.
It's
And, like,
basically what, a year later, right? No, not even a year.
August to it was under a year.
Yeah.
So that's, I hate to say it, but that's life of contracting. And a lot of people think they got like these corporate rights. You do, but I mean, the other thing is you learn is like you're as useful as your next assignment. If you think there's companies, some companies a lot better than others. I'll give them that. I've heard some horror stories, and it's not going to get into other people's business on this, but I mean, we did really well for like taking care of folks. I always hats off to that company for, I mean,
I think that's the most important part, right? You know, taking care of your people. If you do that, then everything else kind of falls in line.
We had a lot of military folks. The main corporate office calls the carnies. And I loved it when they said that, because we're the carnies. We're there and gone. And then I call them pikers, because they'd pike in and they'd pike out every day. That was like their 9 to 5. And you need both of them. You can't have just one type of person. The carnies, you meet them. They got stories. They're weird. They all have a little bit of baggage in their head. They're there for like 6-8 months and they're gone. They come back and you rotate them back in, trying to integrate them in as best you can. But I mean, that's the life of defense contracting in the 2010s. So, yeah, I heard the carnies. It's like, it's apt. I mean, they're not wrong. We're here to set up the shop and leave. And that's funny. Good. On to the next town, boys. But we're the carnies. But
that's great.
Till 14, I boomerang back to Afghanistan and get on ground. Like, hey, what's going on? What do you need? I hear some problems. And they're like, nope, we're good now. I'm like, so why am I here? Like, well, I don't know. All right, okay, cool. What needs to be done? So I took a list of everything that was kind of outstanding and just became a utility infielder. It was like eye-opening for me.
Yeah.
So on the ship, my first month, I went on the MEU. I would take we had a tax. I don't know if you've ever heard about the ship tax. And every section's got a tax. So I hashed out a deal with the sergeant major at the time. I'm like, hey, if I take this first month, I'll go down, fill a leadership position on the ship tax, and then leave my guys alone for the rest of the deployment. So I go like mess and maintenance or mess on the ship. So I'd like move stores or do overnight. Just, it's a break mentally for me. And at the same time, my guys don't have to pay a tax for the rest of the deployment. I'm like, let's do this.
Whoa.
So in 14, I kind of looked at like that first month. I'm on borrowed time here. I can get a lot of things done. We can get a lot of things done that have been hanging over our heads because I'm an extra infielder right now.
Yeah.
So like, hey, this needs to come out of here. This needs to go there. This needs to move. You need to go figure out what's going on here. And I'm like, all right, just pack my bag and I'm on the road. And it was like, we got a lot of things. It was a bonus month.
Nice.
So it was kind of so it's like, it's a bonus time. And you can get a lot of things done that way. Plus it's also a lot of introductions. So I bounced over to Kabul and kind of figured out what's going on there. Some issues popping off, consolidation. Billeting was always a problem in Kabul, especially in IJC and Kaya. So we had camps outside, like Green Village, and there's fucked up shit out there. But Baron Hotel, the Green Zone. I mean, buildings at a premium. So, especially in the Green Zone. But a lot of folks in a compressed area. But IJC, we moved everybody on base, and they hated me for that. So, yeah, it's that guy. It's like, you want to hate somebody, hate me. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
They had single wet shoes in Green Village with a pool and catered food at night. And I was like, what? How much are we paying for this?
Nice.
We had trucks going back and forth all the time, like up armored Land Cruisers. I'm like, none of this. We're going to start consolidating and reducing.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some pissed off kids. They hated me for that. I'm like, I don't give a shit. Not paying this every month. It's astronomical. But I mean, building came available on IJC, moved them on IJC and Kaya there. You're gonna walk, but we downsized our footprint and actually were more secure because they run an IED laden route every day back and forth to work on a set schedule. I'm like, what do they tell you? Never establish a schedule? Well,
yeah. Well, that's exactly what they were doing.
Crackheads are gonna crack. So there's some stuff that we barely got away with. We got real lucky. We didn't get targeted hard.
Yeah.
Especially in the zone by the airfield. But yeah. They moved every other Barons. There's like almost a riot on my hands. Like there's a guy with a PKM working security on a site. This is designed to be taken over. Every building around here looks into this compound. You got single rooms and it's like a hotel. Cool. Don't care. This is by that time what was the hotel? Intercontinental had been taken over like 2011. So the precedent was set. They take over a building and just start executing expats. So like, don't put yourself in the crosshairs. And then in leadership, and especially as a contractor, you had to basically make sure that your guys were not the mission. Don't put themselves in a position to get snatched up. And a lot of folks were like, well, it won't happen to me. I'm like, yeah, every person who's ever been abducted in Afghanistan said, well, it'll never happen to me. Worst decisions, right?
Yeah.
Like until you are the mission. You ever heard of the Rhino?
The Rhino?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Oh God, this thing was just a rolling disaster. It was an up-armored school bus or some shit. And they'd roll it around the camps, pick up people, take them to the airfield to fly them out. It would like 20-some people in this thing, 30-some people. I was like, yeah, he got smoked by a V-bid. I'm like, who saw that coming? Like, anybody who's ever ridden on it.
Wow.
There's a lot of guys who died because of bad decision making or convenience. Yeah. So that was kind of the problem you run into is like bad decisions. Like, well, that sounds dumb. Let's not do that specific thing. Can't be this complicated.
Like that.
Best trucks to have, especially running on Kabul, was like a busted up like Land Cruiser, some dents, never washed. It looked like everybody else. Not a bunch of antennas sticking around it. And then if you could, you kind of squirrel behind like a patrol for Thor, RF jamming. So if your cell phone didn't work, you're close enough. That was kind of like the rolling thing. So we tried to figure out when the poles would be taken off. Like, all right, leave like a couple minutes after them, take the same route. We got the same back, not looking like them. We weren't part of the main convoy. So you start kind of paying attention to what other people are doing.
Yeah.
But as you start looking around, okay, is it a national holiday or is this is today going to be a day where there's a crowd on the streets doing weird shit and they're spot up? And that's what you start looking at on the dailies. So the other thing, God, it worked once or twice. It was a weird trick. Some of the guys, it came up in like a project manager meeting, but you have like a wad of cash you keep in the glove box. And it was like $200-$300 of like Afghani euros and dollars. And if you ever got in a pinch, you take that thing like a wad, like a baseball, and just throw that thing and make it rain money.
I love it.
You know, money, and you just like tear ass out of there. It's like, tuition gone because you didn't want to go firm. Yeah, they were supposed to have AKs, but every once in a while I borrow one. Like, just let me borrow it. Something's kind of off today. You get that 6th sense going. Like, something's wrong in the air today. But yeah, that's what Afghanistan, that's what Kabul was for us in the bubble there. You never knew where it was going to come from, but it was coming. 14 was also where I started moving to, once I got done with Bagram, went to IJC and Kaya and became like a pseudo site lead there. So we're a lot of folks from Kaya back to like Georgia and doing like a reach back cell for collation. Had some very high maintenance NATO folks. But there were some really great NATO folks too. The government rep, and he should have retired. I think he was retired, and they brought him back for one more. He was a lot of old sensitivities we're kind of dealing with. But we had to move everybody off IJC and move them to ISAF because IJC was consolidating down. And their art stuff. It was 14 and 15. It was like waiting for the SOFA to get signed. And
I see. Yeah.
SOFA was driving everything. So everything kind of stalled. So what's IJC going to look like? A shell of its former self. And then they're building Bagram up. And Bagram was supposed to be like the fallback base. And like, okay, we're going to start contracting down, building harder sites. And then there's a plan. So,
yeah.
But bounce over to ISAF, found an office for our folks, and then we were gonna go from like 20 some to like 7 or 8. So we're gonna do 24-hour ops, and I was like, okay, let's make this work. So I worked my end, folks back in Colorado worked the other end, and we had to transition folks to Georgia.
Yeah.
So
wow.
It was, but I mean, it's a lot of like some work with a Canadian retired chief warrant officer, intelligence guy, super cool guy. And then a Brit paratrooper, and they were like the systems guys for NATO and CJ2.
Oh, nice.
And they would make curry so strong that it would almost peel paint. And they put it in small confined space. That was like, I walked in and my eyes started watering. Like, what is going on in this office?
Nice.
Like, curry. You want some? I'm like, I think so, but I'm afraid of this stuff. But it's amazing curry. But they had like this old school recipe. And it was like really good. I would paint the walls and peel the walls. But our neighbors were the ISA or the Polish, and they were Task Force White Eagle, and they're amazing folks. Love the Poles. Always had a little bit of booze when you're not supposed to have booze. But yeah, tastes like paint thinner. But at a certain point, like today, I kind of need a snort. So
yeah.
So yeah, we moved folks over, and collapsed IJC down to ISAF and Kaya there, and we couldn't drive, so we had to fly everything. So we had to arrange because the roads were getting really sporty. I was pretty big, so yeah, had arranged flights for a bunch of folks who aren't used to flying, and it was Black Hawks, and we had this really I can't remember his name, but he was a retired Marine first sergeant. And he was kind of the handler for CJ2. And we're running like off-hour routes across town, moving stuff from one point to another. And he was just, God, he was cool. I'm hoping I run into a conference sometime because he's from like Alabama or down south. He was super good.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a little guy. He throws a scarf on and you couldn't tell the difference. The way he goes. little guy. Never wore a ball cap. But yeah, dude, I mean, 14 was transition and it was SOFA. And what are we doing? Nobody knew. 18th was in charge. 18th Airborne was in charge of IJC. We lost a couple guys just because inaction. We had a suicide bomber hit engineers one time, and that hit our section pretty hard because he was a really good dude. The one thing that messed with everybody was there was two of them. There was Major General Green from NTMA. He got shot green on blue, and that was kind of wrecked us because he was just a super good guy. He was just really smart, really took care of his folks, and some guy decided he doesn't need to be alive. An Afghan ally, and they were infiltrating the Afghan army at the time, and then he lined them up and shot him down.
Wow.
But I think the one that messed with us the most, there's a guy who was over by Massoud Circle, New Cobble compound. Guy got out, helped direct traffic, and a guy on a motorbike came by with a knife and slit his throat, bled out on the drive. And that was like most random thing.
No
they tell
kidding.
you, steal your truck, and that one messed with us pretty hard. But I mean, that was SOFA season, so we're trying to figure out what the mission is. And in 15 was just kind of a big question mark. What are we going to look like in the next 2 years with the elections coming up too? I mean, 16. So we're like, okay, who wants to figure out what this thing is going to be? Well, no one wanted to put their brand on it. And military operations have to be hess of the political machine. So
Yeah.
we had coming up on the end of 8 years of Obama, and we're getting ready to go to either, God, was it Trump or Clinton? And I'm looking at this cycle like, who knows?
Yeah.
So I kind of third and so it was 11, 12, 13, and 14, 15. So the better part of 5 years in theater. So
Wow.
and like it weighs, and you start losing people for the silliest shit, and then the most heartbreaking stuff. And it was like, what are we doing? I've been raising my kids on Skype for the better part of 10 years. So but coming out that one, I turned a 6 into a year because I got there's IRS tricks you learn as a contractor. Like, all right, it might be time. So rotate back, and had I got one story. It's kind of like weirdest thing. All right, so RC West, like I came up out there as my first RC, lost Tina, and then we put a guy out there named Mo, and Mo, just the most easygoing dude, and Mo. There was a trick we did where, as field service reps, if you bounce from site to site to site, I don't need to where you're at. I know from the phone, like, don't put it on Roshan, like like just say, hey, I'm where I'm supposed to be, and that was like a running code, like a shorthand, like they made it to where they're supposed to be. I'm good.
Yeah.
And Mo and I had this rolling like jokes, like, dude, I'm in Iran. Like, all right, cool. He's where he's supposed to be. Because we had Iranian border out there in the west, and a lot of times the cell phones would actually ping off Iranian towers.
Oh, geez.
It's like this rolling joke. It's like, hey, dude, I'm in Iran. I'm like, cool. So I get down to IJC in 14 or 15, and Mo is getting ready to rotate home finally because he's been going for a while. And like, hey, cool. And walking around ISAP or IJC one night in Kaya, and I get this text from Mo, and he took off that day. I'm like, hey, dude, I'm in Iran. I'm like, cool. Like, eat a dick, whatever. It's like a running joke.
Yeah.
And because he's leaving, I wasn't. So I was like, good on him. 2-3 hours later, it's like, dude, I'm still in Iran. And I was like, okay, what's going on, dude? So what happened was the DFS flight got delayed. Diplomatic Flight Service is like the contract there that flies contractors into Dubai. They broke their flight profile, and you transit Iranian airspace, and they're getting ready, like getting into the approach in Dubai, and all of a sudden Iranian fighters pop up on the wing. It's like, go back from whence you came. You broke your flight profile. They didn't have gas to get back to Kandahar.
Yeah.
And now they're like, we don't just let us land. Like, no, you broke your flight profile, or land back where you came, or we're going to escort you into an Iranian airbase. And they were going to basically start a fight with Iranians in the air, the passenger plane. So they landed in an Iranian airfield, and
wow,
on him. And he was like, dude, I'm in Iran. I was like, all right, our little running joke, it backfired on us. So now I'm like, all right, text me what's going on. So he can't talk, but he can text. He was like, hey, we're getting ready to like come down and start our landing in Dubai, and we got rerouted into Iranian airfield. They're like, where are you at? I was like, I think we're here. So we're texting, and I hate texting, especially on like the old Nokia.
Oh yeah,
111 space 222, all that.
Yeah.
Super fun. But so I'm texting Mo the entire time, like, hey, we've done this, have we done that? And I'm calling like bosses, I'm like, hey, we have a contractor on the ground in Iran. He's in the airplane. They haven't made everybody come out yet, and there's got a clearance in place. So there's all sorts of things you have to start working on, like procedurally. So does he have a company laptop with him? Where's it at? It's in the overhead. Okay, he hasn't produced any of this. He's got no classified on because we don't travel classified. But I'm like, Jesus Christ. So call the boss, in theater because they had somebody over in Bachman when I was over in Cabo. We kind of ran a dual support structure for us. And he's like, I just popped the melatonin, man. I'm so sorry. I'm out. And it's like, he was like, I'm about to crash. Like, you got this? I'm like, I got it, bro. So, get a hold of like the folks back in Colorado. I was like, hey, Mo's on the ground. I ran. There's a situation. Called DFS in Dubai. Dubai's like, yeah, they got delayed. I'm like, yeah, they're delayed. They're fucking Iran. Like, oh, we did not know that. And they're like, they're just a ground. So airlines flagged out of Ireland, and then it's also got a piece in Virginia. So I'm like looking this stuff up online. I was like, what's the status? What are you hearing from the cockpit? What are you hearing from the folks on the ground? They're like, we're so sorry to inform you that. I'm like, I know, I got a guy on the ground. He's been telling me what's going on. So I'm telling them what's going on from Mo on the plane. And I was like, this is insane. So like, they had to get gas because they were short on gas.
Yeah.
Iran's like, all right, you can get gas, but we're like, okay, here's our card. And like, we don't take credit, we take cash, bitch. So
oh no.
we need to fly a crew in with a bag of cash to buy gas and then the crew broke crew rest. So they got to change out crew, get both planes back to Dubai. And Mo gets in the ground in Dubai. It's like, are you good, bro? He's like, I'm tired. I've been sitting on an airplane for like 10 hours. It's gross. I smell like bag of assholes. I'm like, get a hotel, go firm, take a day, become normal. Because he was going home.
Oh, jeez.
He's seen his son. Give Mo a day just to normalize, get a shower, some sleep. So, because he's still got to fly from Dubai all the way back to like New York.
Oh, yeah.
Just give him a day. They're like, well, breaks policy. I'm like, everything about this day is broken policy. So let's just all be cool. Like, you get on my check if you need to, but give Mo a chance to make a first impression with a kid he hasn't seen in like a year. So got him home. But that was 14 and 15. If it was weird, it's gonna happen.
Wow.
So I'm coming off that, and we were working like, I typically work 12-hour days. That's billable, 7 days a week. And that's like cool. 12 is suggestion. And I slept in a can next to the soccer field on ISAF. And I didn't sleep. A lot of us can't sleep. So it's 16-hour days. You get like 4 or 5 hours a night, you're lucky. But get 3 shifts. I bounce between like day shift, night shift, mids, kind of check on your folks, talk to folks at night, like how they're doing, like mid shifts down in like Southwest or up north, or just let them see how they're doing. Yeah. So a lot of it was just mental health checks on your folks to see how they're doing. And that's what I spent a lot of my time doing that in that 2014, 2015, because we had some guys at the end of the rope. It just kind of, it was a beating. And what are we doing? I don't know. I just tell them you don't know, because there is no. Is there an overarching strategy? No, it didn't feel like it. But 15 was kind of like, I think I'm good. I was talking to Deb too, and she's like, it might be time. I'm like, all right. So did the year home. At that time, we were also trying to downsize office space, and we we're doing a lot more stuff remote. It was like 15. So 4 years before COVID, and we were figuring out that we could do a lot of stuff online and didn't have to lease a space in the office, because it's a beat. We could have meetings that 5-6 people. You didn't have to be in the same space.
Right.
So we spent a lot of the time doing this anyway. So they said, hey, you ain't got to be in the office to be effective at your job. You can just hit people up on comms, like video comm, like this. Like, all right, cool. So a lot of us like, let's go. So sold the house, went back to, that was like, you got one move left and you make it count. And I'm like, I think it's time to go home. I mean, family support structure, mom, stepdad, niece, my sister, whole family's up here. Sioux Falls, the cost of living is pretty damn low. Taxes are pretty, we don't have income tax. It's kind of nice. We got property tax, but it made sense. So moved back to Sioux Falls. Bought a house next to a school. Super easy.
Nice.
But and then we got a phone call from the boss, like, hey, I need you to swing up through. And we were downsizing, but also rearranging corporately too. They're talking about mergers and acquisitions, and like the job is what I'm here for, not like I was doing some of the other stuff too, but there was some talk of mergers. I'm like, all right, if you go over here, you might have this cell. I mean, you've done this for so many years, and we kind of like how you work and do this thing. I'm like, all right, it makes sense, cool. But is that you just have to start asking yourself, do I want a job or do I want a career? And I was starting to like, I'm kind of done having a career. I'm tired of being always switched on. And like, I could stand having a job because I want to watch my kids grow up for a while. Haven't done that in a long time.
Yeah.
But it was more a concept, more as a concept than an actual in practice for me. But I got back and what was it? Moved back that summer of 15, and kids started school here, backyard, loved it. And like, hey, we need you to go up to Fort Drum and set up a reach back cell. Like, how long? Like, just get them off the ground. We'll transfer somebody over. Like, keep it going. I'm like, all right, cool. So I would fly out from Sioux Falls. I drove out there the first time because upstate New York. Yeah, I didn't want to have a Toyota Yaris with front wheel drive and like expect snow. I heard it snows up there.
Yeah.
Familiar with the snow concept. So all-wheel drive Subaru. I was like, I'm just gonna drive it over. So drove up to upstate New York, set up shop, got really tight with 10th Mountain there, the RC East, and there, got along great. And then once a month they fly me back to Sioux Falls, spend a weekend, and come back. It was kind of the deal we had set up because it was, we were kind of fried. We did that for about 3 months, and just a lot of connections. He became the subject matter expert for Afghanistan because a lot of the kids that sit in 10th Mountain hadn't deployed. So,
it's a good point.
It's like, all right, who is this? I'm like, all right, this is the story behind this, and so it was good, but it's a lot of connections, we're watching Reaper footage real time.
Yeah.
Like, all right, cool. Set up a cell, start doing packages and stuff like that. I mean, they're great folks, but it was busy. I'm never a school trained intelligence cat, but I was working in intelligence, so it was good. Working at skiff suck. I don't care what anybody says. They smell bad, and nothing ever worked right. But drove home and getting back to Sioux Falls, and a phone call like, "Hey, guy in Germany, he ain't gonna stick, so we might need you in Germany." I'm like, talk to Deb. I'm like, finally get a spot in Germany. I've been waiting for this like 20 years, and she's like, "We're done. This is no more. We need you to home. You need to be home." All right. So most uncomfortable conversation I ever had was talking to the boss. I'm like, "Hey, I don't have it in me," but they knew. I mean, you can kind of see the fuel gauge on your folks over time, especially when you're running rapid. And we've been running a burner for a very long time. There's some folks that just like, there's nothing left in the tank. They say that you come home and you kind of reset the clock. It doesn't. It doesn't refill because all the sediment and the shit just boils down, and then the tank is not as big as it once was.
Yeah.
So it never really fully clears out.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Mental maintenance was just gone. So I kind of hit a point. I'm like, I'm done. We ran heavy. I had a great career. But now I'm like, so call the boss. I'm like, "Hey, I don't have it in me. I don't have a Germany rip in me." They're like, "We understand, but you know what that means." I'm like, "I understand." Like I said, there's loyalty, and we had really good loyalty because we had a lot of military folks in the company. And really kind of nice. But there is that underlying, you're as useful as your next deployment.
Yeah.
And when you start turning them down, you kind of open yourself up to some restructuring. And I opened myself up to restructuring, and they're like, "Yeah, you know what that means?" I'm like, "I understand it." And like, "Well, we don't want you to take off right away. We'll put you at 3/4 time until you start school." I'm like, all right, cool. So wrote some stuff and became like the guy on the end of the line because I knew where a lot of the stuff was because I put it there. So
Yeah.
bury the bodies, but I knew where the stuff was. I knew why we did it, and what we would break if we did it. And I still kept my phone number from back then because I wanted to have my phone.
Yeah.
In case you needed it. I still have it to this day, but I think everybody's gone. The whole mission's gone. Kept the line, but
how long total were you with the company?
God, that's a good question. About 5 years.
Okay.
But in corporate time, that's especially in defense contracting time, that's like an eternity with Afghan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
especially when you spent the majority of the time, it seems like, in Afghanistan.
That was the purpose, though. That was the incentive. And they had been consolidated and bought and merged. And I'm like, at that point, I'm like, they've got the folks they need. I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I've been doing contracting for 10 years. So,
yeah,
2006 to about 16. So I was like, all right, and there's that. Now they talk about transition coming out of the Marines. Well, transition coming out as a contractor, especially an overseas contractor. There's a talk I used to give folks when they sit down first time. I was like, hey, you got to have an out. And then Jim had that in this fickle world of government contracting speech he used to give us all the time. Like, it can change pretty quick. And I was like, what does your end state look like? I'd ask him. And also, financially, if you're spending this as like your normal life, this is an abnormal situation you're in. If you start treating as normal, you're asking for all sorts of problems.
True.
And Deb and I started stacking cash and putting it into places and building the 401 and building a retirement because that's something that they really don't do well on the corporate side.
Yeah.
So we got really smart about money and we didn't spend with outside our means. I never bought like a Camaro or a camper or we had a couple like big trips we went on. That was like our big thing. But it was like we did it cheap because we like to travel low key. I don't need room service. I want to go get Chinese rooms at 1 a.m. because that's like legit where I want to be. But you know, I like wonton at 2 a.m. It's whatever. I travel like backpackers, and I like to travel like a backpacker.
Yeah, there's a lot to be said about that. You know,
you get to see what the
travel
country
light
instead of a resort. I don't need a resort. But so we were kind of smart with money and sold a house in Colorado Springs and bought one in Sioux Falls here. But that time I was at home, I went back to work, and I'm like, I'm sitting in a work from home status in 2016, and I got kids that are in elementary school, and it was like, who am I? Ask the question. I mean, there's that time you get out, you're like, who am I? I'm not a Marine anymore. I'm not active duty. I mean, I'm not active. You become like an alumni. And there's a old guy I used to work with. He's like, quitting contracting is actually harder than quitting heroin, buddy. I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, it's true. You get used to the lifestyle. You get used to the high. You get used to the adrenaline spikes. And you're not wrong. Because you talk to some guys. And like, if you go back to contracting, would you? And they're like, in a heartbeat. Because it's easier. I hate to say it. I mean, you ain't gonna worry about a mortgage. You put on auto pay. You ain't gonna worry about taxes. You just do it once a year. You don't cook. You don't do laundry. I mean, overseas contracting is kind of easy. You just do the job. They're not asking you to do anything outside your scope. Like, just do the job. And it's this is how things work.
Yeah.
But my stepdad's in town. He's a super smart guy. You see it next to the green finger over there. But Gene was instrumental. He's like a mentor. He was my mentor. Like, I could not figure out how to come home. That was because everything was like always, all the time. Like, when's my next one? How do I do this thing? I'm chasing this thing. You figure he taught me how to come home. And there was sometimes that first 8 months, you're just like, I'm sitting at home by myself. don't have an identity anymore because I gave that up. And you start asking yourself the questions like, is the world better off with me not in it? And that is, you start going down because you don't know people. Everybody you know is over somewhere else. All your friends are busy living that life.
Yeah.
You're sitting there just like writing up something that nobody's ever going to read. Like, what did I do? You start asking like those hard questions. And I think Gene saw that and he's like, all right, it's time to get you involved. And so he drugged my ass to a Marine Corps League meeting at the BFW. And these are the guys. Let's go figure this thing out called life. You had a purpose. Let's get you a purpose again. I started finding a purpose. And it was not corporate dollar. It wasn't overseas. It wasn't all these things. It was the Marine Corps League. Everything I knew about the Marine Corps League before that was like, right when I came home and started school, there's a kid named Jeremy Bowman. I went on my last Westpac with him. And he got killed in Iraq. And we had his funeral just down the street from where I lived, and he was Sioux Falls native. And I saw these guys in the red jackets and the red caps, the red covers come in, and they took a whole row, and I'm like, oh, must be Marines. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Didn't think of it. I'm busy living my life, right?
Yeah.
Busy worried about me, worried about everything I was doing. But I didn't have it in me to go out and do that thing that you do after I never really felt like I was home. It was just a place I was until I was on to my next thing. Why put roots down if I'm going to leave? But when Deb said, this is it, I'm like, all right, it's time to start putting roots down. It's time to start being part of a community again. Well, that's something that's like when your community is always on the move and it's always rotating out. I mean, people come, they go all the time, especially in the military community. And the contracting is even worse. The rotations on that were just, it's ones and twos. So, oh God, what was our rotation rate? I think it was 125% per year. Wow. Not that many people. Holy so it's cow. That's just how it was. The whole thing was going to turn over during the course of a year. So personalities mattered, but we're that transitory. And now I'm sitting in a place where nobody leaves the job they're in ever. There's people I work with now that some of them been out there 30, 40 years. That's just what they've done since college. And they retire out of their job. That's just not unheard of. Yeah. So the time frame is that screwed up for me. It's like, okay, in my brain, I think I got to start meeting people. I got to start like becoming part of a community. Because what's the alternative? It's time to check out. Right. That doesn't seem like a viable answer. I mean, I think one of the big things that stopped me was Billy. Billy kept me alive. The amount of hate and contempt I had for what he did. And it's just how it broke so many of us. And there was no reason. We'll never understand why he did what he did. I don't think, ever. Yeah. Like, I don't want to do that to people I love. So that was one of the things that kept me going. Yeah. It hurt. Don't get me wrong. There are days when this sucks. Yeah. This is who I am. Yeah. And as men, you identify who you are with what title you have sometimes. That's very true. Yeah. I'd say for men, it's probably the biggest part of what we are, right? What you do basically says who you are. I mean, if I'm a team lead in a company that does overseas contracting, I mean, I can talk about that for days. But now I'm a dad. Okay, it's a little different. My title's dad. Okay, everybody's dad. Well, not everybody, but there's a lot of dads out there. But right. Yeah, you need to find the value of the title dad. And it took me a few months to figure out the title, the value of the title dad, and how valuable a title that was. I didn't really have a dad growing up. I mean, it was I had a lot of really good male figures. My dad was busy with life and trying to be that asshole, but I had some really good coaches. I had some really good grandparents. I had some really influential men in my life, but how do you become the dad that you don't feel you had? So I had a stepdad, but they didn't get married until after I was in the Marine. But
Yeah.
Gene is kind of like my go-to. And that would now I had to figure out how to become a dad. So I'm going to school lunches and I'm becoming a chaperone on field trips. And first field trip I go to, and I am thinking that I'm gonna be like, there'd be a bunch of moms there. And there's a guy named Chris steps up, and our daughter's in the same class. And I look over, and he's easily 4 inches taller than me. I'm like, holy shit, this guy's massive. And I'm not a little guy, but I looked over him. He's got full sleeve tats, and he's just having a blast. Yeah, all right. I'm with my people here. But yeah, I was like, okay, you start paying attention to those around you, and dads are doing it right. And he's like, all right, okay, I can see how this works. I can do that too.
Yeah.
But that transition, it's a bear. I don't care what anybody says. Like, I'm going to do this thing. You build it up in your head. The transition is going to go super easy. I'm going to be like, everything's going to be great. It's not always great. What happens when you take that first punch from Mike Tyson? It's like, you don't have a plan anymore. You better figure it out.
Yeah.
But I had really great folks around, and I found something kind of dug. I worked in a gun shop. I mean, people I met there, great people. Kind of, it was weird. It was fun. I liked shooting. Had a range. It's like, you having a shit day, just go bump some rounds off.
Yeah, nothing better than that.
Yeah. Go mag dump them. Like, and just scream.
Just unload it a little bit. Yeah.
It was a dumb day. Like, go dump a mag, make it feel better. But then like I said, one thing led to another. Marine Corps League kind of led in the VFW. We were meeting at VFW in a basement, and it was kind of bad. There's a sewage line leak in the basement, and the building was it was aging like all the other regions and VFWs across America. We're scheduling a meeting for like our charter dinner for the league. We're talking to them about their calendar. And one of the waitresses comes like, "Hey, we need your help." I'm like, what's going on? So, well, the front door actually was an ADA door. The guy was coming out on a walker, and it bumped him into a snowbank face first. We had to pick him up and put him in the walker and put him on the mobility bus. And he was like, all right. But we started asking questions like, why don't we have ADA doors? I'm like, well, we don't need to. We're grandfathered in. We're a nonprofit. I'm like, the building's actively trying to kill your membership. There's got to be something on here, guys, right? And they're like, well, we don't have to. We really can't afford it. I'm like, you ask yourself, is this the best we can do? I think most innovation comes from like people get content with what they have, but then there's always kids. There's like those folks are like, I think we deserve more, and I think that's why I started asking questions. Like, you start looking around the other places too, like this is as good as it's going to get. I'm like, well, fuck that. We can do better. Let's do better.
Yeah.
Start sitting in these meetings, and this is kind of where we came up the Military Heritage Alliance. There's a place in town. It was like 80,000 square foot event center, had a 14-lane range in it. It was like turnkey for us, but we had to consolidate all the different organizations. And that was where a lot of that came from, 2016, 2017. And we kind of did something different up here. But you got to basically convince yourself that you deserve better.
That's true.
Sliding back into like, you deserve better than what you currently are doing. So you can fall back and be content on, whatever, but you get that mental switch has got to flip. It's like, yeah, we deserve better. Let's do something else. Let's figure it out. But it takes a lot to get a lot of people into that spot because I like my place for this one thing, and that's why I like it. I like booze. It's cheap. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
But you deserve better. And that's like that, well, shit. It takes a while. But you can't bitch about a situation the entire time and then not do anything to help fix it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You're just an asshole. There's a lot of assholes out there, but we had to start building a coalition. And then another guy had the same idea we had, and we kind of said, all right, let's make this thing happen. We did. And we opened in 2020, and yeah, we just had our 5th ball there, 4th ball there. We filled.
Mm-hmm.
We had 325 people in there. I mean, it was like biggest one we've ever done since like early 2000s. I mean,
I mean, the facility. When you came on and showed us the facility, man, it was amazing.
oh
And you have how many different organizations kind of went together in it?
God, originally 14. And I think since then it's grown. I think we're up
Oh,
to
really?
like,
Wow.
yeah, I think there's like another 9, 10 folks, organizations in there.
Yeah.
It's designed for nonprofit turnkey, and
Yeah.
it works.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't feel like I have to be there every night eating dinner to keep the place alive. And that's what it kind of felt like for a couple of the organizations in town toward the end.
Mhm.
I mean, when a business meeting turns into a business meeting, that sucks. We're
Mhm.
not good at business. I hate to say it, but you get a town full of restaurants, bars, and casinos. Don't get in the business to run a restaurant, bar, and a casino when the board meets once a month. Everybody complains about the price of booze, like it's too expensive. I want $2 beers. I'm like, they cost $3, bro. You're losing $1 selling one. It
Yeah.
was just these antiquated business processes and procedures they were doing. Like, all right, let's get out of the business of being in business, start doing what we're supposed to be doing. And it gave us space to like actually get back into this. And that's where you started having these projects like start lining up. So first thing I kind of took a stab at was getting us away from like sports. People hate that about that, but I'm like, Lego League, first Lego League. If you've never been part of STEM, like first Lego,
Yeah.
it's 9 months throughout the course of the year. You start doing the business procedures like I was doing when I was a contractor when I was in. It's like start asking the question why on everything. Why we do this? Well, why do we do that? And then you start asking you start doing the root cause. And we've always done it, always kept it in the answer. We've fallen back and it's like, well, we've done this forever. I'm like, times change. I mean, we're still not flying with P-51s and F4s. I mean, just let's times change.
Yep.
Baseball team runs for 3 months in the course of the summer. A Lego League team runs from September to May. Well, I got a 9-month turn on something that I spend less on, and it's integrated. So I can do more with that. And STEM is going to be the way we're moving forward anyway. A lot of stuff in the military. So if the first chance they get it, a VFW stamp on it, or a Legion stamp on it, or Marine Corps League stamp on it, let's put our stamps on it.
I think it's just super cool that whatever I'm assuming that you all kind of invest in the same stuff, right? So as the different organizations, you kind of push toward a specific thing, or how does that work?
Yes and no. I mean, the albatross we have in South Dakota is baseball. I'm gonna be a heretic for saying this, but I'm gonna take a shot at the sacred cow here. But using baseball started in South Dakota, Milbank. So
yeah,
we can't get rid of baseball in the Legion, but VFW didn't. So I got post 628 stamp on the national teams that we send out to like Long Beach.
nice.
Like they're winning they're going to the national level. So and then 2020 we opened. Here's where it gets fun for us is the first year that we opened the alliance, the place they normally have their tournament said we can't support this year because of COVID. I'm like, well, we can support it here at the alliance. So we moved everything to the alliance and they kept it going. Otherwise they were going to have a team that we're going to have a tournament that year. So yeah, it turned into like this. Yeah, you got a visitor. But yeah, it worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
And it gives us space. When everything's an emergency, every meeting, it's not an emergency anymore. It's just your natural state.
True. Yeah.
Which is a chaotic organization. But we don't have to worry about surviving anymore. We can start talking about growing and thriving.
Yeah.
Those are real questions.
And all the different veteran organizations need to be doing that. Everyone should be thriving, not just surviving. But
well, you got to get out of their own way too.
Very true. Yeah, absolutely.
There's a multitude of reasons why younger guys aren't joining, and I talk to these guys. I mean, as a contractor, I didn't have a rank, and officers would talk to me, enlisted would talk to me, juniors would talk to me. It was I wasn't a threat to them. I could not.
Right.
It didn't matter. So we have real conversations, and you're really good at listening. It's like hearing what the theme and what's going on. All right. There's a problem here, but what is it? Is it leadership or is it technology? Is it there's not a mission set that they can understand? And like, how do you have that conversation with them?
Mm-hmm.
But I also got really good at listening to vets too. And I'd say you call flying the flag. I mean, we all have a t-shirt or a hat that you wear. And it's like, all right, who are you with, man?
Mm-hmm.
And that first conversation starts like, who are you with? I'm like, oh, Marines. I'm like, all right, where are you at? Have a conversation. They want to talk. They're wearing it. They want to have that conversation normally.
Yeah.
We're not out in town just to like not get attention. Let's not kid each other about that shit. You want to meet other vets?
Yeah.
Well, go meet a vet. Talk to them.
Very true. Very true.
So you start asking the younger guys like everything about joining the Legion, like, nah. VFW, nah. Marine Corps, like, nah. Like, why not? They're like, it's a bunch of old guys talking about like stuff. I'm like, yeah, guess what? You're about to be one of those old guys. So don't blink, bud.
You're stepping on the door of being old.
Yeah. You got that beard going. You got those like, I'm being a protest. Like,
yeah.
the beards. I hate to say it. Vets grow beards. That's not my thing. As a contractor,
I haven't shaved. I haven't shaved since I retired.
I know. Good on you. You guys earned that.
Let it go. I have trimmed it.
Contractor piss the active duty guys off.
Yeah.
As an officer, like, oh, it's not a contractor with a fucking beard. I'm like, well, nope. I got clean shaven. I got a haircut. Just next.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool. If it's something that would cause some consternation, like it's not worth it. I'll just shave.
Yeah.
Me anyway. But in the Legion, the VFW, the League, you start asking these guys, like, why aren't you a member? I was like, well, it's not really for me. Like, what do you think? What's the image? What image are we portraying as veteran service organizations? You start asking those questions too.
Yeah.
A smoky old bar? Well, not anymore. That shit's gone. You been in the Alliance? Yeah. Take your kids there. Cool. Now we got a family room. They can play video games while you're like at the range or go to an event. There's a million things we can do there.
Absolutely.
But you got to build the space. You got to build a home for them. And that's been our biggest shift. And then, like I said, I came on for the Veteran Cemetery Mapping Project. I've been doing that, and I had the space, and we weren't in survival mode, and I got a little bit of a budget, and we started cooking that. And it's been taken off, so it's super fun.
Yeah.
But we're at the ground floor. I mean, we're in the building. The basement for this thing is probably going to take off pretty big. But
I think it will. Yeah.
But now I have a space that I can fall into if I need to do where we're going with that.
Yeah.
Not residing in my bag or a box. It's we can put that on a 300 square foot screen and talking about the specifics of it.
Yeah.
I don't have to like book a room at the local coffee place to like get a TV to hook in so we can like 4 of us can work on it together on a Saturday afternoon. So you had to find a way to push those targets out away from where you were. And that's kind of where we're going. And that's kind of the hard part where a lot of us get stuck. It's like, it's a big project. I don't have the time. And then I'm not going to get any help. Like that, you fall into those ruts. So, but we also got to start asking the hard questions. Like we've always done it this way. It's like, it's a bullshit answer. But we've always done this. Like, well, that was back when you had like 2,000 members. Now you got like 600 troops of task. You start doing planning on this. You're like, you ain't got the numbers to support this anymore. Sometimes you're going to have to make those harder decisions. Like, okay, we used to, but now we don't. And what's the priority of the organizations? These, but always done it that way. It's the biggest. It's just a death sentence for any organization.
Yeah,
always be changing. ABCs of organizational development. But
very true.
I mean, got a job with got a job with the government. So, but yeah, really kind of hesitant to say that out loud.
It's all good.
Good people.
Yeah.
Work for a Department of Interior. Department of Interior is love the job.
Mm-hmm.
Frustrates the hell out of me some days. I get it.
I think any government agency or department you work with is going to frustrate you at some point.
But it's a job. That's
True.
the dish.
Yeah.
I needed a job, not a career. And
Mm-hmm.
a career, I asked vets when they're transitioning, oh, do you want a job or you want a career? Like, what's the difference? A career is when something I don't stop thinking about at night. And when I had a career, was an ops, I come home, eat dinner with the family, pop my laptop open, and there'd be a site working on something around the world, and we'd start coordinating. I need to call the UK, I need to call Australia, I need to call Korea, whatever. A job, I don't even think I look at my rearview mirror when I'm leaving the site. It's like every day I pull up, like, huh, still there. That's cool. I guess I better figure out what I'm doing today.
Yeah.
That's a job. I have a job. We just went through a shutdown. I mean, yeah, you figure stuff out. We've done this.
Yeah.
Get the shutdown, whatever. But it's a good life. I know my kids. I get to go to the events now. I get to be a parent. But
Yeah.
that's the hard part when the transition. It's like I had to figure out how to get rid of that old guy who was kind of an asshole, just cared about his career.
Mm-hmm.
Figure out what my community looks like. You can't bitch about a community if you don't do anything to help change it. And that's the other thing is, if you're not doing anything to better your community, you can't sit there bitching about it either. And I think a lot of people get stuck in that. Well, somebody will figure that out for me. Like,
yeah,
there is no Calvary. You're it. No one's coming. It's up to you.
very true.
There's not some magic bullet out there that's going to fix society. How are you going to help fix it? Go be a mentor. Go do
that's
something.
a really good point.
Get involved.
Getting involved, and I'm bad at it on my end, to be honest. I need to get more involved and go around and do stuff. So maybe this will be my kick in the butt to get me out and doing things. So that'll be good.
But organizations need to be better at receiving them too, and not squeezing them the last ounce of life out of them too. It's like mentor them, grow them. How do you get people involved? I don't know. We're all bad at it right now. We got this thing. What's that thing? We don't know, but we want it done.
Yeah.
Like, what the shit? You got a young vet coming in with an idea. I think a lot of organizations exist out there because they went to the established organizations, and then that organization said no. It's like, we don't know what you're talking about. We can't figure it out. We can't. Can't means won't. Yeah. Won't do it. Can't do it. Won't do it.
And there's so many good organizations that are out there that that started because they weren't, being able to do things what they would like to do, type of deal, like the hiking thing. What is that? I don't know. They walk around in silkies.
Irreverent word.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Those types of organizations are fantastic and they do great things. And I think they work with a lot of the different organizations now that they're their own entity.
Yeah. But I have a feeling somebody went to an organization and said, we can't do it. And they just said, all right, cool. We'll start our own club. And they picked up their ball and went somewhere else. Mm-hmm. But
yeah, absolutely.
You got to get those guys. And we had a big tent. I'd rather have them pissing out than pissing in. I think we talked about that a while back, but there's a lot of organizations out there that just.
Yeah.
There it is. But no, I mean, we're going to figure it out. Mm-hmm. Figuring out it's a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
Be comfortable. A lot of organizations are comfortable. And that's not how these organizations are made to be. We need to be uncomfortable.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree with that.
Always evolving. But no, that's kind of what's been going on since 2016. It's like daughters graduating, kids growing up, organizations are evolving. Projects. Always got a project. If you ain't got a project, you're not living. You got to find a project.
Oh man,
America's going through it right now. Well, we bring a lot of leadership with chaos and our background, so
Yeah,
start
good
stepping
point.
up and get back to
Yeah.
not being professional victims and start being professional like leaders, like we are.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. I like that.
But there's a social contract too. So
Yeah.
no, yeah, live in a pretty great place. Got a good job. Got a lot of fun stories. I know a lot of great people. Just what's the next thing look like? Don't know. And go find it. Go find it.
Yeah, exactly. We're working on it, man. We're working on it.
Yeah. Don't be afraid of being uncomfortable. I think that's my biggest advice because you're going to be uncomfortable.
That was good. That was good.
I hate talking in front of people. Well, I talk in front of people now.
I think you do pretty good at it.
No, I tolerate it. I never listen to myself either. Never read the comments and don't listen to yourself because I hate the sound of my voice.
Yeah, well, everybody says that. Yeah.
No, it's different. Something about the bone conduct. I don't know. Science behind it.
Yeah, there is science behind it, and I don't know what it is, but everybody, I'm the same way. I don't like to hear my own voice either, but I think I've gotten more and more used to it, especially having to edit things and listen to it, and I've just kind of gotten used to it over time.
But we had one last thing. 2020 we lost Gene, and wasn't COVID. Something picked up, but he had a great trip down to Florida, and my sister and I. My mom and my stepdad took the kids, my daughter and my niece, to Florida. And I didn't know his airports were shutting down, any of that. And I'm like, if they get stuck in Florida, we're going to have to drive down there and pick them up and drive them home. And I was like, my sister and I were really pissed about it because we're like, you're chancing this with flights because it's, we're not sure if they're going to get stuck down there.
Yeah.
They went down to Florida, had the time of their lives. My daughter, my niece are on the beach, picking up seashells. They're on the Gulf side. Life's great. And came home and he got an infection and it went really fast through him. It wasn't COVID. But the Marine Corps League stepped in and did the funeral where the Catholic Church failed because they couldn't figure life out, how to do any of this. The Veteran Service Organizations, Sioux Falls PD, he's retired Secret Service.
Wow.
The guard came out from the Sioux Falls PD, the friends we'd made through the organizations, it all came together. And we filled the main part of the alliance and we put all of his photos up and we went through all of his stuff. And the organization stepped up. And we're like, okay, now we're working together. So that was like, it felt like our first big win. And that was something that really kind of stuck with me. It was like, okay, the work we're putting in is starting to pay dividends. And we're starting to see more and more of that come up. But yeah, I kind of felt like, all right, we're starting to turn the corner. And the community came together. When the rest of the world is shutting down and can't figure life out, we lost Dad, and Sioux Falls came together for him. So he's buried at the state, which is another thing that we opened right about that time as well. We had one West River and then one East River in Sioux Falls here. So the organizations are coming together and they're firing funerals. But yeah, I like where I'm at. I always got work to do. Never be content, never fall back, never get comfortable. You got that next thing coming up. So
that's right. Yeah.
What's the next thing? I don't know. Next thing. It's that contractor mode. You're only as valuable as your next deployment, right? Well,
yeah, exactly.
The other takeaway is, never be the most worthless person on a team because you might get selectively unmasked. So.
Ooh, yeah. That's a good point. Good point.
Takes to stick with you over time.
Well, man, thanks for coming on and sharing all your stories. And I had a good time. Learned a lot about you, man. So
I know. I feel like I've been here for time goes by super quick when we're doing this.
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah. Well, I don't think we did any of the questions at the end on the last two.
You're ready for these? Kind of.
You're ready?
Maybe.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see how ready you are.
All right.
What's your proudest military moment?
All right. When one of my guys got promoted or got an award. That was always my proudest military moment.
Ah, that's good.
I
That's
hate
really
awards for me. I never felt like I deserved one or promotions. I always feel like an imposter. But when one of my guys got promoted or got an award, it might be the old lineman in me, but watching my running back score, creating a pocket for a touchdown. But linemen don't get awards. Linemen don't have stats.
Yeah,
But the folks you should do.
That's good. I like that. I like
Moments.
that. All right. What's your most embarrassing military moment?
There's so many.
Oh, shoot.
Most embarrassing. This one always hurts. We cracked a 25 one time. Left the adapter in and pumped around through it and snapped the muzzle brake off.
Yeah.
Looked like an Elmer Fudd gun, all peeled out. But it was a super windy day, and the little red flag that says remove before firing went flying away as part of the armory gear. And vehicle commander went chasing us through the desert to pick it up and jumps back up. They're like, go ahead and crack one. Go ahead and fire because we're doing bore sight and BZO on 25. So they make my little G pattern, zero out all the bubbles in the hydraulic fluid, and cracked it, pulled the trigger, and I didn't pay attention to see that he pulled the adapter for the bore sight kit.
Yeah.
And as I'm watching the sights, I see this thing just like tumbling down range, like, well, shit. Like, whoops. So we broke a $7,000 barrel. But
nice.
Leadership matters. And this is where a lot of us exist in this career because there were leaders out there that knew the difference between malice and a whoops moment. Mm-hmm. We weren't out there trying to cause harm. So the master gunner at the time for the battalion, Staff Sergeant Martinez, came down. I was like, I've never seen that before. That is insane. I could chew your ass. Or is like, what do you guys learn from it? So he started doing after action right then for the crew. He started talking us through. I was like, okay, where did we make the mistake that caused this to happen? And how can we do better next time? I can replace a barrel, but I can't replace an entire crew. If we start taking ranks and start making you guys like feel less than, then I've lost an entire crew. I've lost crewmen. I can replace a barrel tomorrow. We'll go get another barrel. And then he was the gunner for the battalion commander, and the battalion commander was Lieutenant Colonel Toulon at the time. He retired as a 3-star. And at the time, Colonel Toulon was out on the range doing his LEV gunnery skills test, and it's a bear each time you do it if you're not familiar with it. And they closed the vehicle hatches, and they started telling what happened, and Colonel Toulon was like, all right, get him back behind a gun as soon as you can. And they did. So we didn't really get an adverse. We didn't even get a page 11. It was an honest mistake. Do better. You're going to make mistakes, and we didn't get punished for it. And I think that gave us an opportunity to get better at it. So we didn't have that stigma attached to us. It was embarrassing. Yeah. I mean, there was that muzzle brake made its way around the battalion at a time. They put on a plaque and put oops underneath it. And it was like, no, fuck you guys. Nice. It was embarrassing.
Yeah. I understand that. All right, let's see here. If you could be one military leader for a day, who would that be?
It's a hard one too. This is always a hard one. Legends are made. I think that's the hard thing. I think.
What'd you say? Living or dead?
No, legends are made. I think a lot of it's over dramatized, and I think that's the hard part. I don't know if I want to be put in a position where it was like Fuller in Guadalcanal, or I got a ton of books. I read way too much. But I think each one had to be in that specific position to be, or we wouldn't be where we're at today. So
Yeah.
I don't know if I could be them. I don't know if I could ever be up to the caliber with a lot of these people. So who would I want to be for a day? Me. I think that's
okay. Well,
I get to
the good thing is you could do that.
I guess so. Oh, I did it. I won the game. No, but get better. That's always the hard part. I'd rather be me.
Yeah.
I'd like to be around them when they were going through that. I'd like to be a fly in the wall. You guys were just making the decisions that are shaping the modern world.
Yeah. Very true.
Just
very true.
Listen to it instead of having it interpreted for me by either them or historians. So love to be a fly on the wall. Just listening. So this will be me.
All right. What is one lesson or skill you learned that you still use today?
I don't take no. Well, ask why. The why thing is.
Yeah.
I think commander's intent is like the biggest skill. If I understand the intent, or if I can give a clear intent, then I think they can find a solution to a problem that either A, I didn't think of, or B, didn't even know existed.
Yeah.
So I love the commander's intent and giving him a left and a right and let him run. And I love being given a left and right. It's like, here's your lane. Go figure this thing out. This is what I want it to look like. Like, I think that's a skill that is grossly underutilized in a lot of the world today. I mean, when I was working Cooper the project, like, here's what I want it to look like. I don't know how to do it. You figure it out, and we're gonna do some pretty great things. And he did. So what the end looks like how do we get there? And he figured it out. Yeah, that's a skill that if I told him how to do everything, we wouldn't be where we're at. So
very true. So
that's a skill, I believe.
Okay. In the zombie apocalypse, what would be your weapon of choice and what anthem would be playing?
All right. This is the question I got to ask her. Are they the World War Z zombies or are they the Walking Dead zombies?
Oh, heck, I have no idea, man. I just said zombies. I don't know. Take your pick, whichever you want.
Okay. World War Z, I want a 12 gauge trench gun with slam fire and a bayonet.
Okay.
All right. The Walking Dead zombies, I want a 22, like a 10-22. If you ever read the World War Z, the book, that ended up being like the preferred caliber choice.
Okay.
And it didn't cost as much, and it was, but
yeah.
You know Johnny Horton is?
I know that name.
Oh God, my bus driver as a kid had a tape with Johnny Horton on it. It was like American history through like folk music. And there's a battle in New Orleans, and the whole bus would be singing along and just like bouncing around like a bunch of like 5th and 6th graders and 2nd graders. Like, the battle in New Orleans. That's an anthem. You ever get a chance?
To listen to that.
Johnny Horton, one of the most racist old men in the history of ever, but there's some songs on that tape that he had, like the sinking the Bismarck. I mean, we learned in world history through Johnny Horton. It's north to Alaska. But the Battle of New Orleans, if you listen to it once, you're like, that is its weirdest ass song I've ever listened to.
Yeah, well, I can't wait now. I'm wanting to listen to it.
About black powder up an alligator's ass because they ran out of cans and shooting alligator cannonballs out of an alligator's mouth. I mean, it's just it's comical, cartoon, fun. But
man,
Battle of New Orleans. There you go.
I love it. All right, knowing what you know now, would you do it all over again?
Yeah.
Oh, cat. Good Lord.
The shoulda, woulda, coulda game never ends well. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah. Very true.
Look at my kids, they wouldn't happen. If I would have done something different, I would have met my wife. I never joined the Marines. My kids wouldn't exist. Who knows? The variables don't outweigh the results that I have in hand. So no, I do it again.
All right. That's a good answer. All right. I always give this, as you already know, but words of wisdom from you to the listeners.
All right. Where's the animal one? I had that one ready to go.
Oh, hold on. Oh, I think I accidentally deleted that one out. Hold on. What was the question? If you, oh man, what animal best describes your time in service? That's what it is.
I had an answer for that one because we were like raccoons. We worked at night. All we ate was garbage. All we just caused mayhem.
I love it.
Nocturnal, we ate trash all the time and always working at night. Yeah, we're raccoons. That's what we were.
I like it. I like it.
Words of wisdom. You are the change you want in your community. So go out and start making change. I hate to say it. You can't bitch if you don't have a solution. And a lot of people just bitch without solutions. So
that's really good. I like it. Well, man, thanks for coming on and sharing. This stupid cat is get out of here.
Cat and cats, man. That's hard.
She's attacking my little microphone.
Yeah. Drawstrings. That's what mine's fascinating with it. She's like, can you Team 6, and every time she's trying to smoke a terrorist, it's my drawstring. It shreds the shit out of her. I'm gonna start cutting them out again.
Oh man.
Yeah, dude. Hey, I appreciate you having a platform like this. This is mass. This is what we need.
Yeah. We need more people to share. That's the.
They're there.
Yeah.
What's that old movie?
Find them and convince them. That's the hard part. Convince somebody to do it.
Too many Americans think they're living on an island, and they think they're the only ones on an island. We're not. You can start working together, getting the work done. There's a lot of work coming up. Always a lot of stuff. So go do something fun.
But what fun things do you recommend?
Well, go to a meeting, figure out what's going on in your community. There's a lot of mentor stuff out there. There's something that always needs to be done. I mean, you can't bitch about your town looking dirty if you haven't picked up trash in a week. I mean, there's tons of organizations out there that need just a couple people to show up once in a while. You're never too busy to give back. I think a lot of us get more joy out of doing the giving back than I think people really understand. Find a purpose. I think a lot of us don't think we have a purpose anymore. I'm like, bullshit.
Yeah, well, I'd say we all have a purpose. It's just a matter of figuring out what that purpose may be, you know?
Some Marines used to have this thing on the walls. It's better hit a fist than a finger. So team up and go smash somebody in the mouth. And that was kind of how we work. That's how combined arms work.
That's good. That's good.
Hit with a finger, make a fist, and hit really hard. I think that's what we need to start doing as a veteran community.
Yeah, I like that, man. That's good.
And hitting problems hard instead of just like bitching about them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, man, thanks for coming on and doing this. Truly appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'll wrap this up the same way I always do. But to all the listeners out there, if you're struggling, need help, anything like that, don't forget the VA does have some great resources. You can always dial 988, press option 1. You can always text 838-255, or you can go to veteranscrisisline.net, click on that chat icon. Any of those options will put you in contact with somebody that can help you out. But remember, one veteran life lost is one too many. I care about you. Jess cares about you. The whole veteran community cares about you. So please reach out for help. If you're out there, you're not struggling, reach out to a buddy you served with, ask them how they're doing. And if they need that helping hand, please give it to them. All right. One last time, man. Thank you. Truly appreciate you. To everybody out there, stay motivated. Change your socks.
No more 22. Honor the journey and finish the fight.